Good evening, my name is Mr. Graham, and this is for my assignment for ESL 440. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about leveraging home and school connections and English language instructions, and putting out some key topics as well as other important information. The first thing I wanted to go over was cultural influences. Now, to understand cultural influences, you have to understand that what is the culture of a student in general. Culture is an integrated pattern or human behavior, which includes a whole list of things that make up a person's traits, behaviors, um, political groups, or even their social skills. This includes communication, their thoughts, their rituals, the way that they interact with other people, their behaviors, beliefs, relationships, their practices, even their languages. When we talk about culture, it's basically how people see themselves and their perspective. This includes many things that surrounds around them. And when I mean surrounds around them, I mean their perceptions, their behaviors, and their influences. But to gauge in cultural influence, the student must also have cultural competences, which is basically the ability to understand, to appreciate, and interact with people from cultures or different belief systems than theirs, and also that's more diverse than they are. By doing so, there's a couple models that are in the classroom that could be presented to these students. The first one's going to be valuing diversity. By doing this, we're teaching the students to accept and respect diversity in the classroom, as well as their peers that have different cultures. Conducting cultural self assessment, students recognizing their culture and learning to respect and to celebrate it. Understanding the dynamics of differences. By understanding the dynamics of differences, the students can engage other students who are more diverse or more different than they are, and at the same time respect their diversity, as well as bringing a social skill and presence to their with their peers when they communicate. Um, Institutionalizing culture knowledge. This is engaging the student and opening up their knowledge to their culture, as well as bringing in the parents too to enlighten the child. And adapting to diversity. This is very important in teaching the classroom. Many students, especially kindergarteners or early elementary, might not have been in a classroom, might have been homeschooled due to the pandemic. So teaching them to adapt to diversity is also giving them a life skill and transitioning them for future educational grades. This is also tied into social emotional learning. With emotional learning, it is valued for the student due to them learning about equality and learning about basically that there is no difference between them or their peers, that we're all one, and in the classroom we treat each other with respect, dignity, and that we celebrate those that are different, and that we're all friends in the classroom. By engaging in this, it helps the students later on in their as they grow. It helps them gain their own worldview, their own consciousness about recognizing what's right and wrong, and in their lives, in their communities, just in the world as they advance through their educational steps. Today, I also want to go ahead and talk about intentional strategies for family and community engagement. These are important because family and community is what supports the student, depending on their culture too. Some cultures they have a great family support, and it's a lot of family support, which is good because as an educator in a school, you do want communication, strong communication with the family. You want strong family involvement in a child's life. Definitely the community to be involved in a child, and the child to be involved in the community. So with that importancy, it's important to engage the family. You can do this by offering activities at times that meet family schedule, meet and greets with the family members, keep them updated on their students' progress, see if they had any ideas, if they or what they wanted to add to their child's plan, or what they see working in the household. You could also, when you meet with the parents, provide information in a clear language. You could also use their primary language, so it's easier for them to translate what the meeting's about and to understand what the meeting's about. And also create regular opportunities for mutual share information about what they see from their child's learning or what they see from their child's development at home. Do note that it is important to involve the family of the student, especially if a student's ELL when they're still learning English. Family involvement could be a huge factor in their learning and in their involvement in class. Another thing that you might want to add too is just to see if the parent wants to attend a classroom session. If they want to see the instruction, maybe they come in there and they observe what is going on with their student, what the lesson plan is, and what their students learning. Just remember that the main goal is to create a welcoming classroom environment for all ELL students as they learn a second language which is new to them. A couple steps to engage is increasing their confidence, making them feel more comfortable in the classroom, and building a foundation for positive relationships with the educator, the student, and their peers, and building a foundation for positive relationships as well with their family members. Because remember, for the whole school year, the family members or their family, their parents, can be a huge benefactor for the teacher, and getting a lesson across, or an evaluation, because teachers can evaluate the student while they're at home. So learning where the student's at and how to improve the lesson plan creates a great way for the student to be able to complete the content area course, while also being able to feel like they have acceptance in the classroom. Do remember that most of the ELL students are probably having a culture shock based on them having to be at a different school, or they're learning a language that maybe hasn't been spoken around them. So they can experience, anger, hostility, frustration. And as teachers, we have to embrace that, and we have to help them adapt through support for their new surroundings and for the new language that they are speaking, as well as helping them strengthen the English language and strengthen their learning skills. And just remember, we could all do this by just making sure that they feel welcomed into the classroom, welcomed around their peers, and that they do feel a sense of that support, and that we provide support to not only the student but to the family members as well, and that we engage the student and their families, and that we put 100% and towards their education, and that we show them that we do care. Well, thank you for your time and for watching this video, and you have a great night. God bless.